Support for the Channel StageONE series comes from The Music Box, a podcast from Louisville Public Media where families can explore music together. This week's episode explores waves, how sound works around us and inside us. Follow the show wherever podcasts are available.
Hi, and welcome to Channel StageONE. It is time for our next episode. It is Thursday, which means it is Think Thursday. Except all this week we have had a special theme. It is Derby Week here in Louisville, and things just aren't the same. We won't have the Pegasus Parade this afternoon, and we won't have the Run for the Roses this first Saturday in May. But I had a really great idea. What if, with a little bit of paper, some scissors, and some physics, we could do paper horse racing here at home? Are you with me? So, grab your Kentucky Derby Julep cup. It's just iced tea. No big deal. And let's do some paper horse racing. Here we go. This project requires some precision cutting and works well for middle and high school students. Younger kids will love the magic, but may not have the cutting skills needed. For this activity, you will need scissors, a pencil, a metric ruler, and paper. Try different kinds: copy paper, construction paper, cardstock. The results will vary with each kind. You can cut about 3 horses to 1 sheet of paper. Next, we will review the template for your horses. All right, here is the template for our horse. If you notice, it's just a long rectangle. It's 15 centimeters long by 4.5 centimeters tall. You're actually going to do 3 equal sections of 5 centimeters, and then each of these smaller segments are 1.5 centimeters tall. And then you'll label it leg, head, leg. The body is in the center. Leg, tail, leg. Notice I have these dotted lines instead of solid lines. That just means that when you go to cut your horse, you're actually going to cut up to this line and stop. We're not going to cut all the way across, okay? We're going to use some creative folding, and we will turn this rectangle into a horse. Okay, so once you have everything drawn out, you're going to go ahead and start cutting out your template. And this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. You'll see you've cut those 3 sections. All right, your body is in the center, your legs are separated, and then your head and your tail are up. Once you have that done, I've gone ahead and folded. I pre-made this guy a while ago. All right, fold all that down, and look at this. You've made a little horsey. Now, what you'll notice that's a little bit weird is that his tail is up and curled. And that's for a reason. That is actually to help with some balance when you start to do your racing in part of the next thing that we'll do. So his tail is curled up. I just used a pencil and rolled it right around and made a little curl. And then for the head, I just did some clever folding. There's nothing to this. There is no science on this one. I just folded it over that way and then did an equal fold. And then I made them push together. I did give him a little bit of a neck there. So check him out. You got a little paper horse. One thing that we did not discuss in the template is the rounding of the feet. And this is where it is a lot of trial and error and really gave me the most frustration. See, it says tail. I actually had to flip them because I got better results when I flipped the head and the tail. This one gave me a lot of frustration because it depends on a couple of things. The type of paper you use, the type of surface that you use when you go to race, and the slope of which you have your horses moving down. So if it's too tall, then they're going to just slide right off. If you don't have enough friction and your paper's too slick, they're going to just slide right down. And so one of the things that you'll want to consider is as you go, this is the area that's going to give you the biggest trial and error, is curving those legs so that you have center points on the inside of all the horse's legs. And I'll explain why next. Okay, so this is where things are really going to get interesting. I have built a racetrack. Not really built it at all. It's a cutting board. But you look around your house and see what you can find that you can use to build sort of a ramp. I found this long cutting board. I thought it would be perfect. And then I stacked some of my kids' school books to get the right angle. And so this is one of those variables that you're just going to want to play with to see, is the slope too tall? Is it too low and they don't go anywhere? If it's too tall, the horses will just slide right off the track and onto the bottom, right? So you want to play with it and make sure that your slope is what you need for greatest success. The other thing that you want to consider is what kind of surface area are your horses going to race on. This is plain copy paper that I just set on top. Other things that you might want to use could be construction paper. You might find that it has a little bit more friction so that the corners of the legs, remember I talked about those points, can grip a little bit more to the construction paper. And then if you have the right slope, gravity's just gonna pull that horse straight down and you're gonna be the winner. Remember the other thing I talked about was the curvature of the feet. This is where it gets really important because if you have too much of a curve, the horse is just gonna fall over on its side. If you have the right amount of curve, it should successfully walk its way down, boop, 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 walk its way down the track. Now this is where I just about drove myself crazy because it's all about making sure that these are equal, making sure you get just the right angle, making sure that you've used the right paper. Look at that. Bam. He is going. Isn't that cool? It's all based off of friction and gravity. It's basically rocking side to side and causing the horse, using its own force and momentum, to just walk itself down the cutting board. I think that is so cool. It's also maddening. Very much like horse racing, you may not always pick the winner. So it's trial and error. Be patient, try your best, see what you come up with, and once you figure out the perfect setup for your horse, challenge your family, challenge a neighbor, challenge your sibling, challenge your cat. Nope, don't do that. Nope, that wouldn't work out at all. Well, how'd you do? It's pretty hard, right? It gave me a lot of frustration. I think I yelled a few times, but my horse was the victor. So I can't be mad about that. Well, that's it for this episode of Channel Stage One. Tune in next time when we have more awesome videos for you at 10 o'clock. And listen, we are bringing you fun, fresh content each week. So if you like what you see, please support Stage One by donating to the link in the post. Thanks again to Louisville Public Media for the sponsorship of Think Thursday and their podcast of Music Box. And we'll see you next time. Remember, theater for everyone.